Amazon FBA raises fees and changes delivery promises. So Amazon will increase FBA fulfillment fees starting January 15th in 2026 with an average rise of 8 cents per unit, alongside adjustments to storage, removal, and aged inventory fees. While some bulky product tiers will see small fee reductions, multi-channel fulfillment, Buy with Prime, and AWD West region costs are all increasing. Sellers will also face slower delivery promises for products with low supply and sales velocity as Amazon prioritizes faster moving inventory in its decentralized fulfillment network. For Amazon sellers, this means tightening margins, the need for more precise inventory planning, and potential price adjustments ahead of Q1 2026. So this is one of those articles like, well, yeah, of course, Amazon's always raising fees. But, Amazon is much more matured. It's a harder platform to sell on, I think, in the past, at least margin wise, as margins get squeezed from all directions. So I'm curious on your guys' thoughts and projections for 2026 and where you see things going on Amazon.
Yeah, we're already starting to see. So we sell 2/3 of our business is wholesale, 1/3 is private label. So 2/3 of the business is competing for the buy box with on national brands with lots of other sellers, including Amazon, and about 1/3 of those listings. Rewind 10 years ago, if Amazon sold the product, you'd have about a 2% shot at the buy box. Now we're seeing that slip below 50%, sometimes even below 1/3, especially, and this is what they're talking about, especially on low velocity items. So Amazon's still prioritizing speed of delivery. And so as a 3PL warehouse in the Midwest, that's a great spot to be, but it still takes us 2 days to get to both coasts. So we'll lose to a 3PL on the West Coast or a 3PL on the East Coast, or if it's sitting in Amazon FC and one of those. But as we have product in Amazon fulfillment centers, sometimes the fulfillment centers aren't so smart on where they're putting product. And so we'll see outsized buy box on some items because we're in an FC, or undersized buy box percentage on some items too. And so what we're doing is strategically keeping more products at our fulfillment center because we're in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
And we're seeing outsized buy box performance even over Amazon retail. And I think on part of that is not on the fast moving stuff. We don't really sell, our biggest items will sell a few thousand a month, nothing like 10,000 a month or 100,000 a month. And we're seeing it a lot on these items, expensive items that sell 50 or 80 a month. The buy box is absolutely wacky, and we're looking at basically how do we tighten up that shipping time? Should we start to ship more things second day air FedEx if we can make that work? And so we're testing a lot of that right now.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's so you're winning. Are you winning the buy box over FBA items as an FBM seller then sometimes?
Yes.
At a similar price.
Yes.
Very good.
And especially on, it's harder to look at the data on the fast moving stuff because there's so many other variables. It's on the slower moving, these 50 to 100 items a month. We're seeing a lot of that.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, very good. Especially since you're, like you said, you're strategically placed in the Midwest there, which there's not as many companies in that area. So,
right.
You don't have as much competition for that kind of thing. So that makes sense. All right. Very good. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Anytime we talk about fees, we just say it's less margin for error. You need to make as much as possible, so you just have fewer opportunities for mistakes with things like listing deactivations, or not just with what we do. I mean, messing up your ad spend where you're spending a lot and not getting a lot back. I think you have to always count on each new year some announcement like this. When they didn't raise fees this year, it kind of guaranteed that they'd raise them next year, right? That's the way people took it, that you'd have like a reprieve in 2025, but in 2026, first of all, other cost challenges came up instead of fees this year.
Fees went up for sure.
So there were non-fee fees.
I just didn't call them fees. Yeah.
Right. It's like the old taxes thing. I don't know.
Right.
Who remembers the old days of political campaigns and people saying we won't raise your taxes and using that as a basis for getting elected? Well, then what happened? They had to create revenue in other ways, and they just didn't call them taxes, right? So, so it's just less margin for error on, not to steer it back to what we do every day with appeals, but it just means get it right. If you have a listing that has value to you and it's down for 3 months, maybe you could have gotten it up in 3 days or 3 weeks, and that's revenue in your pocket to pay some of these fees. And also, it doesn't suck up your attention as much. If you resolve things quickly on the account health side, it means that you can devote attention to some of these other, logistics equations and other challenges elsewhere in your business. I see a lot of people kind of crippled by getting stuck in the gears of these different teams who, quite honestly, the teams I used to work on, we didn't have a lot of incentive. We weren't answerable to too many people, like not publicly, certainly back in those days. We were completely behind the wall. Now you're kind of somewhat answerable to like SAS core managers but I mean, the phone call goes to account health. It never goes to my teams, my former teams. So it's just less margin for error, I would say do less trial and error. If you don't have a strategy, I mean, even if it's something completely unrelated to what we do, like let's say reimbursement ticket filing or something, like you need a strategy for any process that Amazon has. So unless you have a bona fide, tested, tried and true strategy, don't experiment too much. Don't like wing it too much, because then you just spend more time on it. Probably you lose money somewhere in that process. And, fees are just a reality, like taxes that are never going away. So you can't wish them away. That's not going to work.
Yeah. I don't see them ever going down, because we got to remember too, for the Federal Reserve, their target is a 2% inflation every year. And it's been above that the last many years now. So just naturally, the prices of everything have to go up because the value of your dollar is going down. So you're going to see rises just from that alone. And then, of course, Amazon is becoming more and more of the behemoth and controlling everything. So they have the power to increase fees, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So with that in mind, I guess, what do you guys see for 2026 and beyond for competitors to Amazon? Do you see Walmart continuing to rise, or someone else to challenge the dominance of Amazon, or is Amazon going to remain the king for the foreseeable future?
Well, you said 26 first, so I answered 2026. Man, I think the pie is still growing. Like people, I've got no grandparents left, right? And my kid keeps getting older and older, so he likes buying online, searching online. So I think the pie is growing, which means Walmart will probably grow. Like you want to be on Walmart. We're in automotive for a lot of our listings, so we want to be on eBay. And we're actually seeing like some outsized growth, just a little bit on eBay. We're not 100% sure why. Obviously, the sports card market is growing like crazy on eBay, and nobody else has solved that yet, really. But I mean, for 2026, Amazon ain't going nowhere, obviously.
Still kings. Yeah. For a while, there's no Walmart grows what percentage every year? I mean, they've got some reliable percentage growth year over year, which is great for them, but they don't pose a serious challenge to Amazon at this time. I mean, maybe certain categories, certain types of products, I guess, but I'm a bit biased. I'm an all Amazon shop. So, I don't do any, Walmart or eBay stuff, but I don't know if the conversation is as interesting as it could be if Walmart got the memo a little earlier, maybe back when I was still at Amazon in those years, or maybe in the last 5-6 years. I think they could have accelerated some of their growth and eaten into, they had the resources, right? Walmart's not out there saying we're resource poor. we don't have any ability to catch up to Amazon or to, redirect any of these. They could have caught up a lot quicker. I don't know if that's they brought in Mark Laurie, and he was there. It feels like he wasn't there that long, but I think they just missed the most serious challenger would be Walmart, unless you guys, are thinking about like Temu and Shane and things like that. But
yeah, before the tariff wars, I definitely was.
Yeah.
Since then, I think the possibility is greatly diminished for them in the United States for now. But yeah, I would agree. Walmart is the biggest challenger. So for me, just to kind of look at it from a different angle, Amazon's dominance definitely isn't going anywhere for a while, and it's not going to flip in 2026. But I do see competitors like Walmart going to continue to chip away at Amazon's percentage of the market. And the reason I think that is going to happen is because e-commerce is one of the lower profit margin centers for Amazon at this point. They make a lot more from AWS and logistics and fulfillment. And so they're going to focus more and more on those things. And so I think that leaves room for competitors in the e-commerce world to chip away at their share of the market, because they're going to put less attention on that just by the nature of wanting to focus on their profit centers. So I do see an opportunity there for Walmart, and maybe even some kind of Shopify marketplace if they can figure that out. I think that could be huge. Or who knows, some third party could pop up and take some market share as well. But Amazon's dominance is going to remain for a while, but I think it's going to be on the decline here going forward into the future.
Well, Walmart could solve last mile. They have the infrastructure, they have the resources, and that's one of Amazon's vulnerable areas, right? They haven't mastered last mile delivery. So my question, I guess, would be to them or anyone is, why haven't they put all their chips on that spot? I mean, if word got out that they could do kind of a one-day Prime, or within several hours get you the item from a local Walmart store, then they would be way ahead of Amazon in a very exclusive area. So I would think that would be somewhere that, again, they've had many opportunities to kind of focus on these things and press on some pain points for Amazon and make some headway, and they haven't done it yet. So
yeah, I've had that experience from Walmart a couple times now, where I wanted to get this bike for a gift, and Walmart was able to deliver it the same day, from one of their local stores. And I just recently had another one where I wanted to buy this specific, it's like a $700, $800 laser printer for the business. And Amazon, I think Amazon just had it like FBM or something, where it would take like a week. And Walmart, I signed up for the trial of Walmart Plus, and I was able to take advantage of that and get very quick delivery of this printer. So still, most of my purchases are on Amazon, but Walmart is definitely stealing some here and there with the quick delivery, or having certain products that maybe I can't get on Amazon as fast as I would like them. So that could leave an opportunity too, right? Because this article says that they're going to have slower delivery on slower selling products. So if a Walmart is able to have faster delivery on those slower selling products, that could be a little bit of an opportunity there as well. Or you, Eric, with FBM, right? That's just going to help you guys in that area as well.
Yeah, and we've always been a big believer on we don't compete against diapers and batteries. We compete against the pink handled screwdrivers, something that's a little bit oddball, and that typically people are willing to wait for. Bikes as a birthday present, that's an interesting one that Walmart could solve if they have them in store, of course.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. They've got stores all over. So even if they have to run the bike from, 50 miles away or something like that, it may make sense for them if they have the margin to do that.
Sure.
Just to get it to you so quickly that you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll buy some other stuff from Walmart too then.